Hi, everyone. So I'm just going to quickly demonstrate doing a two object still life drawing with graphite. So after you do your line menu and your value chart and your texture chart, I want you to choose a couple objects to draw a little larger. So you could do this on your drawing pad. You have like 18 by 24 paper. If you fold that in half and tear it, it should be like the horizontal way, like folding it sideways like this, like that. If you fold that in half and do it, it will be 12 by 18. And that's a great size to kind of start getting larger. If you don't have that yet and you're ready to do this, then just go ahead and do it in your sketchbook. But I wanted to quickly talk about choosing objects. Stay away from clear bottles, stay away from flat things, like don't draw your cell phone. Think about things that have full dimensionality. I chose a avocado, one, because it has a lot of interesting bumpy texture that I thought would be interesting, but also because I cut it open. And so the contrast between like the smooth inside of an avocado and like kind of the brown, it kind of looks like an old raisins, like old and kind of like this ancient skin. It kind of creates like a nice contrast in your drawing. And then the other object I chose, because I think it's really important for artists particularly, but everyone who's starting to draw, it's really hard to draw ellipses, which are the circles going back in space. And so something round is really good. So I got a coffee can. And I also would encourage you to think about either putting things on a piece of fabric, like I have my shirt here that I could do, and it would have like a pattern, which would be like an interesting element to put into my drawing, is like this like checker pattern. And because I'm doing black and white with just graphite, these are like shades of gray, which I thought would be a nice addition. But something else, if you don't want to do something dark, something I really would encourage you to do is to put the objects on a piece of white paper. So when you put the objects on a piece of white paper, what happens is you see, you'll get like a cast shadow. So the cast shadow is the shadow that is the object cast onto the, can't really see because my light's a little bright, but it's a shadow that is casted onto the ground, onto the floor or the surface that the objects are sitting on. So sorry about that. I'm still getting used to my camera setup. So I'm going to set these up and I'm just going to quickly demonstrate like how to start your drawing. So when you watch this, you're not going to see my setup per se, because the way I have my table and everything set up is just a little too hard to show both, but I will, you can see me start the drawing process. So for the materials, I'm going to have the eraser that came in my kit. And also if you have like a regular hard eraser, like one of those pink erasers or a white eraser, those are good. My pencil sharpener, I have graphite sticks, and then all your different drawing pencils. So the ebony pencil, and then your 4B, 2B, 6B. If you want to have your H pencils in there too to have some fine lines, that's great too. But really thinking about using all your different graphite materials when you're doing this. And one other thing that I'm going to show you is that when you start drawing, it's really important that you draw everything in at the same time. So you are drawing, you're approaching it like you're attending to everything at the same time. You're not working on the coffee can for one whole like 10 minutes and then you finish the coffee can and then you draw the avocado. That's not how it works. You need to address all the objects at the same time. So set that up and I'm just going to turn my camera so you can see where my little drawing set up. So my objects are over here. I don't know if you can see it. So it's kind of upside down because I have this hanging over. So these are the cast shadows. So that's what I was talking about. So now when we're in the classroom, what I encourage students to do, we would be drawing on drawing boards. Always have your drawing paper and your board leaned up against something. So you're not drawing flat on the table. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to actually draw it flat on the table. But when you're looking at something, you should hold it up like this. So the way I'm going to start, you have to forgive me. I'm still working with this setup, and it seems that seems like my table shakes and then the camera gets blurry. So I'm going to start by using the side of my graphite to really push in that shape of the can. So I'm just using the whole side. And it's okay when you're drawing the bottom of the can, even though you only see the like front edge, I'm going to, in my drawing, I'm going to draw the whole part. Okay, because that's what you need to practice on. You don't want your drawings to look, when you're drawing something circular, you go like this. And then oftentimes students go up like that in the back. You want to stay around like this. So it's really about having a soft motion. You just need to keep practicing. So you can see that my can is starting to come together. And my can's round, so my marks are round like this, using the side of my graphite. See if you guys can get a little closer. And then I'm going to put in, I have the avocado, one of them's facing down, so I see just the shell, I have the little sticker. And then the other one is facing up. And then I have the shadow is coming, see if you can see it. The shadow is coming out here. So I'm going to put the shadow, I'm gonna, and I have a shadow in the back of the can. And I also have the edge of the back of the paper. So I have like this edge back there, the line cutting through the, it intersects with like this part of the can. So I'm going to put that in. I actually put it a little too high. I'm gonna lower it. And really, it would be really helpful if you can have some type of light source on your object. So if you have like your iPhone, you can put on your flashlight and just face it. So now I kind of put in a darker background. So this is what I mean when I say draw everything at the same time. I've just spent about maybe a few minutes drawing, but now I have all of the objects in, I have the table, and I have like a signifier for the dark background. Okay, and then when you're drawing objects, like my coffee can has words on it, just ignore the words. I mean, if you want to do that, you can, but I'm just really focusing on learning about shapes and value. So I really want my coffee can to be round. So I'm really digging in and pressing down with that graphite bar. I can get my ebony pencil. You see, I'm kind of holding it to the side like this. And then I'm going to think about the pattern and the mark making that's going to go into the skin of that avocado. But you really want to think about also filling in the value so it's lighter on this part here. You never want to leave anything white. In order to show a highlight, like this is the sticker, in order to show a highlight and to show the texture and to show the different bumps of the skin, you're going to shade in like I did by holding the side of your pencil. And then it's called pulling out the highlights. So now I'm going to go back up and I'm going to like draw with my eraser. You can like pull out the white. So you don't want to leave it white, you want to pull out the white. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep looking for where things are lighter and where things are darker. I'm going to make sure that my marks go in the direction of the object that I'm drawing. So if things are round, you want the marks to be curved. And I'm just going to keep going until this is fully drawn. And I'll throw some examples up as well. And you really want to get dark to show the dark shadow on your paper. I realize this is like slightly upside down, so let me just turn this. So now you can see how things are going with that. So I have my can, I have the avocado that's face down, and then I have the one that is face up with the seed. So I'm going to still do, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put in my darks, the darker values. Don't be scared to get dark. You can always erase. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful. And like I said, if you have the larger paper and you want to tear it in half and do 18 by 12, that would be great. But again, make sure that you're addressing the whole page. So I considered the whole page. And before I'm done, I'm going to address the white on here and over here. So I'm going to pull that in, and then like again, you can just keep going with your eraser and start to pull out those lights. Okay, so good luck. This is going to be good. You guys will do a great job, and hopefully this is helpful.